Hey there guys, I am SonicGhost and welcome back to some more Let's Play Star Fox 64. Last time, we went through the remaining two planets we had on the medium pathway, Solar and Macbeth. And this episode, we're starting back here in the very beginning, starting our first planet on the hard pathway. I took the liberty off screen to complete Corneria using the alternate route, so we can go ahead and make our way through our first planet here in the hard path, Sector Y.
Fox, we're under attack. Help us out here.
I'm on my way.
Good luck.
Let's back up the squadron. Somebody's gonna pay for all this.
Falco's right, someone has to pay. So let's take out our aggression on all these enemy ships. There's a lot of enemies in this stage, so charge shots may not be the best idea in certain areas of this level simply because there's just so many different things for your ship to lock onto. Sometimes it's better to either just release a bomb or just shoot your lasers like crazy. It doesn't look like there's anything that bad over here. Until Peppy just says that, hey, look above you. There's enemies up above trying to shoot, so be very careful here. Now at this point, we actually have a little bit of a fork in the road. You can go up or down. Doesn't matter which way you go because both directions actually have enemies spawning. But I recommend going up above because if you kill the enemies fast enough up above, you can immediately turn around, go downwards, and then shoot the enemies from the downwards path as well, maximizing your points. Now, for this level, it's actually really important for you to get as many points as possible because the score in this level actually dictates which level you get to play after beating Sector Y. If you don't have enough points by the end, you actually will be sent over to the medium pathway because then you'll get a mission complete status. So your points here actually dictate your pathway choice at this point. So if you want to continue on this hard path, kill as many enemies as you can. You need at least 100 points to continue on here on the hard path. So as you've seen back there, once we pass the checkpoint, we hit a fork in the road once again. This time you can choose to either go up or down, and depending which way you go through a completely different section of the level. So we're going upwards for this time around. We're going to go ahead and take that other path later on, but for now we're going to go upwards simply because if you want to maximize your score in this level, you need to go up. That is how you're going to get the most points in this level. The downwards path won't have as many enemies for you to kill, which means you won't get nearly as many points. So take the upwards path because it is crucial if you want to stay on the hard pathway. But we're near the end of the level here. As you see, Sector Y really isn't that long of a stage simply because of the score thing in general. Because of the score thing dictating what level you go to after you beat Sector Y, this level really isn't that long because they just want to have it condensed down, making it a little bit easier for you to replay if you still need the score requirement. But we reached the end of the level, so time to take on the boss.
Something's up ahead! Looks different!
All range mode.
So this here is the boss of Sector Y, and it's just standard robots we've already been fighting here in this level, so not really too big of a deal here. The robots are a little bit of a pain to hit in all range mode though because they're very quick. So my recommendation for this boss fight is just to slam on the brakes as much as possible and fill these guys up with your lasers. Your brakes are your best friend in this boss fight because of just how hard these machines are to hit.
Don't party just yet. It's time to try our new weapon.
So after you kill the small little suckers, it's time for the big boy to come out. This is the real boss of Sector Y. and it's just a more beefed up version of this gorilla robot we've been facing already. So what I really recommend you do in this boss fight is use your smart bombs to try to do some damage. Doing so, you actually have a chance to destroy the guy's shield, because he does have a shield and it does block your laser shots. So if you can destroy that shield, you'll be able to do more damage to the boss.
We're heading for Aquid. Report in.
There you go.
Your skills have improved, Fox. I guess you're good for something.
So we got more than 100 points in the stage, meaning we're continuing here on the hard path. As Fox said, our next planet is Aquis. But before we head to Aquis, I do want to show that alternate route here in Sector Y we didn't take. So we're going to go ahead and cut back to where the checkpoint is here in the level and take the other path in the fork in the road. So we're back here now to where the checkpoint is here in Sector Y, and now we have a choice. Do we go up or do we go down? This time we're going to hug the bottom of the screen so we can go down. So down here, as you can see, enemies are a little more scarce because they throw the bigger enemies at you here. So we have more of the gorilla robots to fight, and these guys are very beefy and they're very quick. So it's much harder on this path to rank up as many points as you can. This is why I recommend you take the top path once you get to the fork of the road at the checkpoint, just because of the enemies alone. There's not as many things to shoot here, and the things they do have to shoot, not really that easy to kill. But as you can see here, my score is pretty low already. So by the time we get to the end of this pathway and merge back into the main route going to the end of the level, we're not going to have enough points to continue on with the hard pathway. So this is why I don't recommend going the bottom path. Even at the end there, as you've seen, we had a more beefy version of those gorilla robots flying around, and it was so hard to hit the thing, and if I killed it, I wouldn't have gotten many points from it at all, so it's really not worth going that way. So since we're done here, we're going to go ahead and beat the level one more time, and that's simply because there's some stuff we didn't see about this boss fight in particular. We killed this boss very fast in our first go through, so we're going to go ahead and do the same thing here again. As you've seen this time around though, we killed one of the two little lackey robots here extremely quick in phase 1. So if you have hyper lasers for this boss fight and you just go to town on these robots, you can destroy them in a matter of seconds. It's really just depending on 1, how good your shot is, 2, how much the robots are cooperating with you, and 3, do you have hyper lasers? That's the biggest thing for this boss fight. Hyper lasers make a huge difference on the damage output. But this boss fight here, what we didn't see beforehand is the guy flies all around the screen, and after a while he'll get tired of flying and he'll go back to his main ship. Once he's back on the ship, then he'll be a stationary target, making things so much easier on you. At that point, the amount of points you get from killing this boss can go down pretty dramatically. He can go down to hit +5 by the time he lands on the ship. So if you want the maximum amount of points that you can get from this boss fight, you want to kill the guy before he lands on the ship. But if he does land on the ship, it does make things a lot easier on you because he's not moving around anymore. So stationary target is a much easier target to hit. Wow, I'm actually surprised I got that turnaround shot. That was really lucky.
All aircraft report.
I'm fine, I'm fine.
I've taken a few hits, but I'm okay. You worry about your own hide.
So because this time around we didn't have enough points to continue on, we're being sent over to the medium path. In fact, we were literally 1 point off on this run. If we had one more point, then we would have got sent to Aquas. We were that close. But we've already gone to Cantina here, so we're not going back. Instead, we're continuing on here on the hard path with Aquas. But we're going to go ahead and make our way through Aquas in the next episode. Next time on Let's Play Star Fox 64, we'll continue on here with the hard path with Aquas. I'll see you guys next time.